In this video, I show how to plot data in Excel. I'm actually going to start with obtaining the data, editing it to clean it up a little bit, pulling it into Excel, and then plotting it, and then cleaning up the plot. So we're going to start by looking at just trying to find some data. I'm going to look for, say, global surface temperature data, and global surface temperature data. Okay, so I usually use data set or data in order to get it. Let's do the first link, and this is about what the data looks like over here. So I'm going to click on that, and this is someone else's plot. We're going to want to reproduce this. So I'm going to look for the actual data numbers, and sometimes see, PDF won't work, PostScript won't work, but tabular data, CSV, and other TXT formats will work. If I click on that, you'll notice that here we have a text file. So I'm going to save this file onto the desktop, and let's save it to the desktop. Done. Okay. Now, so I have a file here, and I'm going to edit it in Notepad++. What you can actually do, you could do this in Word, but it's pretty dangerous to do it in Word because Word usually adds a bunch of things to it. Notepad++ is free. You can just Google Notepad++. This is not to be confused with the actual Notepad application, which comes with Windows and is really lousy for doing this sort of thing. So really, I just want columns of numbers to pull into Excel. So I'm going to clean up this stuff, get rid of anything that looks weird. I'm going to delete these first few lines. Excel's not going to like those. I'm going to just delete those. Nothing else really strange here. And at the very bottom, we have some junk. We even have a year that doesn't work. Okay, and these are temperature anomalies, which is a difference from 0. So, and this is a 5-year average in that. We're going to ignore that, but it's easier to delete a column in Excel than it is to do it in the text editor. So I'm going to save that. Close that out. So I clean up whatever's there, and then I'm going to run Excel. So we'll open up Excel and go to File, Open, and we'll do All Files. We'll go to the desktop, find this file which was called fig something. There we go. And open that up. Okay, and it's going to give you a text import wizard. This is all delimited by spaces. I'm going to do delimited, do next, and do space, and you'll notice that it splits it up nicely into columns. This is a little preview window. You can see what your data is going to look like, and that's really what I want it to look like. So I'm going to finish that. Finish. Okay, and there's a number of things that need to be cleaned up here. I need to delete some columns. Delete that column, delete this column, and now I'm actually going to put in. I'm going to insert a row there, so I can do something like year and then anomaly in degrees Celsius. Okay. Now I want to plot it, and when you're plotting data, you want to make sure to do an XY scatter with markers. Sometimes it helps to have the connect the dots, sometimes it doesn't, just visually. So I'm going to do insert an XY scatter. You always want to do this for data. Usually I'll just do just with markers. If I'm going to do connect the dots, I do it with the sharp lines, not with the interpolated lines. So I'm going to do this one here. And this is a kind of messy. It's hard to see it. So I'm going to right click on the plot, and I'm going to do move chart, and I'm going to do to a new sheet, and so it takes up the whole sheet. Okay, so we have a plot, but it's really ugly, and there are a lot of things that I need to do, and I kind of run through a list. So the first thing I do is I delete the legend, because you never need a legend unless you have two or more data plots. I delete the title because that's not supposed to be where it is, and then I need to edit the axes. So I need to have axis titles. So I go under layout, axis titles. We'll do primary horizontal axis, title below the axis, and then I can type in year. I can click in that, and let's see. Hello. Okay. and okay, and I can do the other thing for vertical axis. So that rotated title, because we do actually want it sideways, and then I'll call that anomaly in degrees Celsius. Okay. Now the other thing you might notice, it's really hard to see these things. So I really need to do make the font sizes a lot better. So I can right click on the plot, and I get an option coming up, and I'm going to select. I'm going to kind of run through all these things. Horizontal axis title, 10 is way too small. Make it like 24. We'll do vertical axis title and make that 24. We want the vertical axis labels. We want at least 20. And the same thing for the horizontal axis. We want that to be at least 20. And the other thing that we notice is this axis is slicing our data in the middle, and that's really annoying. And this is the one that's really unintuitive. If I want to move the horizontal axis down to the bottom, I notice I need to have it at a value of like negative 0.6. If I want it down here, I actually have to go to axes, primary vertical axis, change the vertical axis options so that I have the axis value, and I have to put it in manually because Excel doesn't have a minimum axis value option. So negative 0.6, and that cleans that up. Finally, I can do a trend line. I'll do more trend line options, and what I like to do, I like to do linear. I always want to display the equation on the chart. I want the line style to be somewhat fat, 2 or 2.5 points, and that'll do it. The equation itself is really very tiny, so I want to put that up to at least 20. I'll put it at 24, and I usually also edit the equation so it says anomaly, and then this is year, and then something like that. Okay, so. And now I'm going to move that over. Okay, now we have a somewhat decent looking plot in Excel after a fair amount of effort.